Do you know what I like to do late at night? I like to look at some baseball cards. So this weekend is an extra special weekend for me. A number of years ago, my wife and I, we took in a young girl that needed a place to live, and she wanted us to help her become a dentist. She always dreamed about becoming a dentist. And so tomorrow and this weekend, that becomes a reality. Tomorrow she has a hooding ceremony. Now you might ask yourself, what is a hooding ceremony? Well, I don't know. But what I do know is when you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to school, they got to do something special for you, right? So, yeah, I'm not quite sure what the hooding ceremony is. And then the next day, she graduates. Now, I live in South Carolina, so I'm not expecting any of these protesters to ruin it for us. At least I'm hoping not. Haven't heard of anything around here happening, so I hope not, because this is a very special weekend. So that said, I wanted to look at some cards. I'm going to start off with this fantastic American caramel, how do you say it? Harry Howell. It's a beautiful card. The E cards are among my favorite. They're just like little works of art. And I'm still discovering ones I've never seen before. I mean, they're kind of endless, and it's not like you see them every day. Harry Howell was an interesting player, and I jotted down a few notes that I could share with you. He won the pennant in 1900 with the Super Bass, the National League pennant. He led the American League in complete games in 1905 with 35. He ranks 82nd all-time in ERA with 2.74. He ranks 87th all-time in complete games with 244. And he ranks 68th all-time in hits batsman with, I don't know how many he had, but I find that funny. Apparently he hit a lot of guys. And he is the Baltimore Orioles all-time career leader in ERA at 2.06. So that's Harry Howell. A fantastic card. I re-slabbed some things. Thought I'd share them with you. Have this fantastic Bobby Orr from 74. My favorite Dave Parker card, and they have the same image in the 1976 Hostess, but that's a 1975 Topps. This is actually my double. I have this Joe Garagiola autographed greats card. Always liked him, and his 1953 Bowman is one of my favorite cards. One of my favorite cards in my collection. I love that card. I got these back in the early, well, not all of them. I got this one in the early 2000s. This Fleer Greats autograph of Dave Parker. And then I have a few more in displays too, but these are the ones I re-slabbed. Juan Marichal. And here we have Artie Wilson, and he was a really good shortstop in the Negro Leagues. Slabbed up this 1969 Globe Imports Babe Ruth. Now I know some people showed these recently. I know Sammy Thunder did. This is from a different set than the set everybody is familiar with. Here's the Mickey Mantle. These were given away at a gas station, I believe. But this was a different set. It had famous personalities, and Babe Ruth was the only baseball player in that one. I got these living sets. Juan Soto and my man Dave Parker. Fantastic image. And I came home one day and I had this big package sitting in front of my door, and I'm like, I didn't order anything. I couldn't figure out what it was. And apparently I hit the lottery with Topps, because when I ordered this, they sent me this as a gift. I did not order one. This is these kind of items are not something in my wheelhouse that I collect. I'm first and foremost a card guy. But this is fantastic. So now I need to go get a frame for it. Super fantastic. I pulled this from a pack way back in the day. Steve Sax. I don't even know what set this is from. But a Steve Sax auto. Of course, he won Rookie of the Year in '82. And my man Johnny Ray, I could argue, should have won it, but he came in second. And I loaded up on Johnny Ray Donruss rookie cards back then. I think I have something like 20 of them, maybe more. And I have his game used bat behind me. I found this. Somebody had sent me this. This is Topps Heritage rookie of Andrew McCutchen. I guess it's a short print. Have this Frank Thomas. He was a third baseman for my Pirates back in the 50s. And I got to meet him once. I might as well tell this story again for those of you who haven't heard it. But so my dad would always talk to me about him. He wasn't a big man, but he kind of was like a, muscular dude for the time. And my dad would always tell me stories about how he used to barehand the ball at third base. He was a third baseman. And he said he'd barehand the ball. And I never believed him. So I got to meet him when he was old. And I grabbed him in the parking lot after this event. And I said, we were both walking to our cars. We were the only ones out there. And I said, I have to ask you something. I said, my father always told me you barehanded that ball at third base. Is that true? And to quote him directly, he said, you bet your ass I did. This is an O. Henry, Shawn Green signed card. I was a big fan of Shawn Green. O. Henry. Tony Oliva. And Johnny Gaudreau, man. 3D. I don't know. I love the 3D cards. I'm a sucker for them. I don't know why. All right, we have this dude. This is Matt Merton. And so he went over to Japan to play baseball. And he broke Ichiro's single season hit record. He did really well over in Japan. So I picked this up for my Japanese collection. I found this. I was looking through some cards I had put away for sorting, and it was in like a beat up top loader. I think somebody sent me this. I honestly don't know where I got it. I don't ever remember getting it, but I was happy to find it. And it's a J-Rod refractor from 2020. So I guess it's a prospect card. I think this is what you people call a prospect card. Just messing around. I got this really cool card. And it's nothing special. And I kind of have a funny story to go with it. So it shows up on eBay. Now this is like a $2 card, so no big deal. But it shows up on eBay tracking as being delivered, and so I wait a few days because oftentimes it'll say it's delivered and then it shows up a day or two later, and it just doesn't show up. And I wanted it, so I reached out to the seller and I'm like, apparently this, it says it was delivered, it wasn't. So apparently, it's lost. Do you have another one? I'll buy it from you, because it's not his fault. So the seller refunds my money right away. I didn't even I didn't want that. I didn't ask for that. So I go to my other home like 2 days later, and when I go in, when I get my mail, there's an eBay envelope, and this thing had gotten delivered to that address, but I never used that address. All my packages come to a different place. So I messaged them and I said, you're not going to believe this, but I haven't had a card delivered here since like 2014, but I show up at my other house and for some reason they sent it to that address. So he's like, no, I would believe it, because apparently eBay had a glitch and they were sending out packages to people's old addresses. According to what he said. He said it was on the message boards and everything. But anyway, I got this. It's not a 10. It's not a Hall of Famer. And it's not worth a lot of money. So not a lot of people want these kinds of cards. But this is a Lamar Woodley from my Pittsburgh Steelers. And it's a really cool looking card. And I was watching a Pawn Stars recently where he was on it. They had a signed jersey from when he played at Michigan, and I guess when they won the championship, and I believe they won the championship. I don't really follow college football. And they tracked him down to authenticate it. So it was an interesting episode. And then they gave it to him, and he was so grateful because somebody had, I guess he remembered, he kind of had a memory of signing that thing in the locker room or something, and he was really glad to get it back. This is a Sibi Sisti, a 1951 Bowman, and I just think it's an amazing looking card. I mean, that's what a baseball card should look like. I got this Menko Sadaharu, and I believe this is from 75, 76. Classic Sadaharu there. Of course, the all-time home run king in Japan. And if you go by straight numbers in any professional league. I got this, what is this, 73? Kellogg's Ralph Garr. Had one really extra special year and went to an all-star game. Had a solid career, but he had one extra special year. I picked up two of this player. Ben Hawkins. Didn't have these for my sets. And I was going through and I saw these autograph cards I had from back in the day, back in the early 2000s. I was buying these, and quite honestly, I don't know what they're from. I think they were Topps buybacks and they had the players sign them. But here's a 1981 Topps Al Oliver. They were signed and numbered. And an 83 Bruce Sutter. I love them because they're actual Topps cards. They're not, remade. They're not reprinted. So I love the fact that they were actual Topps cards from their playing days. John Candelaria. And Eric Davis. These were fun for me to collect. I have some more up in a display that I can't show, but these were fun for me back in the day to get, and who can tell me where they come from? I don't remember the product. I opened tons of boxes back then, all sports, back in the early 2000s. I was even selling stuff on eBay because I had taken all my stuff out of storage after being in there for years, and I had tons of doubles of stuff. I didn't have a lot of budget to buy cards, so I would go through and stuff I didn't want or didn't fit in my collection because I'm a card guy first. I had a lot of things people had given me over the year, like trinkets and other kinds of collectibles, and even just stuff around my house. I would sell on eBay to raise money to buy some things. I remember that's how I got my 1953 Satchel Paige back then. I sold a bunch of other stuff, like non-sports related, non-collectibles, other stuff I had just laying around the house or that my wife had, and just to get extra money to buy cards. So anyway, that's what I have for you. Thanks for hanging out with me, and thanks for listening to my nonsense as always. Thanks for watching.